Cities Skylines is getting a new developer, still being published by Paradox, but the Colossal Order, which are the older developers, are now going onto a different project, and they are bringing in new developers for Cities Skylines 2. We're going to be talking about that and more. My name is Detective Jelly. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We do these videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now let's get right into the video. So the developers of Cities Skylines 2 Colossal Order have been moved to a different project. Paradox has basically given them the boot, and they are going to be doing a different thing. They're moving a different developer onto it, which is Ice Flake Studios. Moving on to City Skylines 2, which makes sense. City Skylines 2 has been basically a huge disaster from multiple ways. I do feel like it does need a new studio to look at it, new direction, because what they were doing just doesn't work. The console port is still missing. The PC game itself is still really rough around the edges. Most people that I speak to and have seen still prefer City Skylines 1. Now, to be fair, that game has had a lot of development in it, and there is a lot to it. The problem is that City Skylines 2 has basically had no real good state. The state of Cities Skylines 2 has always been pretty bad, which is unfortunate because, there are a lot of good things about Cities Skylines 2. It's just that it's been a really rough process to get to where we are now, and even where we are now with Cities Skylines 2 isn't that good. The game still runs really horribly. Like, it still runs pretty badly. There are still mechanics that have not really been addressed, and unfortunately I agree with them that Colossal Order does need to move on to maybe something else, and a new studio could lead Cities Skylines 2 into a place where it is just as good or even better than Cities Skylines 1, because I think a new look at the game and a fresh pair of eyes will really help, because it does feel like the direction of the game is going in an okay direction, but not fast enough maybe. And their last update, adding the bikes and something other than that as well, some other things as well, is a good update. And once you get past the original launch of Cities Skylines 2, they have done good updates. The problem is that you can't really get away from the fact that they launched this game too early, and it's basically been an early access game in everything but name, because this game was not ready for launch. It just simply wasn't. And I don't know what made them decide that it was okay to launch it in this way, in this state, because it's been a really unfortunate ride for Cities Skylines 2. And I do hope that they make another game. They continue being a team. I hope the team stays together and they continue making games. But I think moving on from Cities Skylines 2 is a good idea, because that launch was a mess, and a fresh pair of eyes working on the newer updates by Ice Flake Studios, I hope, is going to be a good thing, and hopefully we'll get more free updates. The console editions will eventually happen, and more content packs and all that type of good expansion stuff for Cities Skylines 2. Moving on to a game that was canceled and then brought back, Hytale, from Riot Games, formerly from Riot Games. It was originally made by the people who made Hypixel, the Hypixel Minecraft server, I should say. They were making their own game, and now it was bought by Riot, and then Riot canceled it. And now they finally have figured out a deal with Riot. Instead of canceling it, they have purchased back the IP. And they have saved the game, basically. Hytale is now saved, and they are going to continue working on the game. They have basically the old dev team, which is great. And they even have a release date soon. They have an early access date to be announced in the coming days, and they're going to be releasing an early access first of all. And they've even released a bunch of gameplay from it as well. It looks good. It looks fun. It looks interesting. It looks like what some people wanted Minecraft to become eventually. But this game is going to be a lot more RPG than Minecraft, obviously. But that's also been kind of like the expectation, because a lot of these people are the original Hypixel server people from the Minecraft server. And if anyone's played that server, you know that they do like their RPGs. Skyblocks is their like big one, obviously, that and Bed Wars. And those two things are obviously one's a multiplayer game to be fair, but the Skyblocks is a huge RPG, so it makes sense. And I'm just really happy for the team. I was really sad when I heard it was canceled, and the new gameplay looks really good. It really does make you question why Riot canceled it if that's what the game looks like, because the game looks like an early access product. Like, don't get me wrong, the game looks like a fine early access product. I'm not entirely sure what Riot was thinking about canceling the game, because it looks fine. Like, it doesn't, like, obviously it doesn't look like a finished game, but it doesn't look like a game that needs to be canceled. It looks like it'll be done at least in a couple years, especially if they had a bigger team like the Riot teams. I assume the Riot Games team was bigger than what they actually have right now. So I assumed there was going to be like a bigger team working on it, but the game looked fine. It looks good. It looks fine. It looks fun, and I'm gonna be interested to see like how Minecrafty it is or how RPG it is, because I do know that they are. It's obviously voxel based. So it's going to be interesting to see what the actual state of the game is. There is some problems because they've decided to use the old engine, which is a Java based PC only engine, which is probably one of the reasons why Riot decided to cancel it, because the amount of effort to make it more than just a PC game probably was too much effort. So that kind of makes sense, but they're going back to the old engine, and it looks like they have a ton of things. They have thousands of items and blocks, which is great. Over 100 NPCs. It looks like this game has a really good base to build on top of, and that's just kind of like what you want, right? Because the biggest thing about this game compared to Minecraft and other games like Terraria and stuff like that, nonstop. So it needs to be something different. And everyone says that Terraria is 2D Minecraft, even though it's not at all. Like, it's way more RPG than Minecraft is. If this is the 3D version of Terraria, which is funny to say, I think it'd be a really good thing, because the way the combat looks, it's a lot more in depth with blocking, the enemies fighting. I hope there's going to be cool bosses. I'm interested to see if there's any like RPG skill trees at all. I assume there's going to be, but I actually don't know, so we'll have to see about that. And I'm really excited to see how far they can take this. And I'm also curious about when it actually comes out, because it is said to be announced soon. And I'm curious what the price is going to be for the early access, or if it's going to be more at 1.0, because they did say they're not going to be rushing this. It's going to be an early access for a couple years, which makes sense. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. They also claim to have 10 years of personal funding. So they have 10 years of funding for this game, which is crazy. So it's going to be interesting to see, first of all, if that's really true. I don't think they would be lying, but sometimes developers are wrong, to put it lightly, about how much things will cost. But I mean, I like to believe them. And the early access duration, or sorry, not duration, the content that's going to come out is going to be 3 modes, and then 2 modes being made, like mini games and adventure mode. I assume the exploration mode is what Minecraft survival mode is. And I'm going to be interested to see like what the mechanics and stuff like that are, or if it is just a, hey, these are a bunch of mechanics, there isn't really a game yet. Because I wonder what's the goal? Like, technically in Minecraft the goal is to kill the Ender Dragon. Technically. Even though most people don't actually go do that because there's so many things to do in Minecraft, but like the goal is to kill the Ender Dragon, right? There is a path to kill the Ender Dragon. What is going to be the goal for Hytale? Is there going to be an end game boss? Is there a quest to follow? That's going to be a more interesting to see. Like, is there a main quest? They are saying there is going to be an adventure mode after launch. So I wonder if that means they're going to be doing something after like the Ender Dragon fight for adventure mode, or if that's going to be like a story-based single player game style thing, and exploration mode just has like bosses and stuff like that. It'll be interesting to see. Modding is going to be available at launch, so I'm sure the modders are going to go crazy with it. I'm going to be interested in that because modded Minecraft is insane, and so this game with modded mechanics is probably going to be even more insane because the mechanics are going to be more in depth. At least that's from what I can tell. At least the combat mechanics. The combat mechanics are way more in depth. And one of my most annoying things about Minecraft is the combat is super simple. So when you play modded Minecraft, they can't really do anything with the combat most of the time. They can do some things, but the combat is very limited when it comes to Minecraft. So Hytale, it's going to be interesting to see how the modding actually gets utilized for this game. And so I'm glad that they're going back to the original vision, because I do feel like when Riot bought it, it kind of lost its own identity almost, oddly to say. So I'm glad that they're coming back to the original engine and the original vision of the game. So it's going to be interesting to see how it actually goes. And I'm probably going to be at least looking into it. I don't know if I'll buy it right away, but I'm definitely interested and I'll definitely be keeping an eye on it. And finally, the last thing we have to talk about today is something that I have absolutely no idea how I really should feel, because Ratchet and Clank got a new game announced, which is exciting, and then you realize that it is a multiplayer third-person shooter for mobile devices. And I have absolutely no idea why they decided that this would be a good idea. I don't see why they think this is going to do very well. I don't think this is going to work with the Ratchet and Clank franchise, because like it's the entire Ratchet and Clank franchise is single player games. I'm so confused why that they're even doing this, cuz like it's not even like it's not even like it's an attachment to a single player game. It's a multiplayer only game, which makes zero sense to me. Like, why are you doing this? It makes, other than the money factor, which I don't think this is going to make a lot of money. I think this was a waste of time. Like, this is a waste of developers' time, and it really sucks, because the single player games for Ratchet and Clank are great, and it's really unfortunate. Like, the game isn't even on PC or PlayStation. Like, it's a mobile only game. So that, like, this game was made for mobile, and obviously they are like, oh, we're going to make a ton of money with this. And my question is, do you know your own audience? Like, PlayStation, do you understand the audience for Ratchet and Clank is not the people that are going to be playing this game? Attaching Ratchet and Clank to this game doesn't make it a big seller. Like, even Star Wars tried to do this and it didn't work. So I'm so confused. Like, Ratchet and Clank has a way less player base and fandom than Star Wars. And when Star Wars tried to pull this mobile only multiplayer arena shooter style MOBA game thing, they failed. So what makes it think that you guys can do it? I'm so confused in so many ways. And it seems like a wasted opportunity, because I mean, like, another thing is that, like, if this was like a mini game for a single player game, or like a weird multiplayer mode in a single player game, I think everyone would be totally fine with it. But it's a mobile game, Ratchet and Clank game that no one asked for, that I think it's going to flop hard. Like, I don't think anyone's going to care about this game. I think it's going to be a hard failure. And it sucks, because if this means that Ratchet and Clank don't get any more games because the last game they made didn't work because it was a mobile game that no one asked for, a mobile multiplayer third-person shooter that no one asked for, and they're like, oh, people don't want to play Ratchet and Clank games. I swear to God, man, suits and ties need to be fired. Like, the CEOs and like management needs to be fired if they think this is a good gauge of the Ratchet and Clank fan base to see if they want to keep playing these games, because no one that played Ratchet and Clank wants this game. So you're going after a completely different audience, and I don't think that audience exists. So it's a wait and see, but I don't see this going well. Thank you everyone for watching today's video. I really appreciate it. Once again, we do these Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, so please check out those videos as well. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see other future content. If you'd like to support me directly, please go over to my Patreon at patreon.com/thetechnojelly. You get access to a once a month live stream, as well as a poll for that live stream, and some other perks as well. If you'd like to support me on other platforms, I have a Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, and Threads. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Goodbye, everyone.